Hello, people. Hi, welcome. Happy Good Friday. Yes, on this great day. I'm wearing my 5K Special Olympics shirt and it has a bunny on it, and it's like the color of an Easter egg. Okay, so fun times. And now I'm fixing my coffee. I have these crappy filters for my pour over that they break sometimes, and so then my cup of coffee I made has all these the little grains in it, so then I have to refilter it. Drives me crazy. But I'm gonna do that. It's a chemistry experiment. What? I thought this was English. But no, I mean it is English. Okay, but gotta have my mojo juice, yo. I mean, look at that. Look at all that. That's I would have drank that. So now that's the filter through. Okay. Some might say I don't need more coffee, but you know what I would say to those people? Don't judge me. Let me live my own life. Okay. All right, let's get started, shall we? So let's look at the schedule of assignments and what we're doing. This is it. I mean, we are, oh my, I can't match it. Look at that. We're down to the last 2 weeks. This week, you're gonna take your outline and turn it into a rough draft. And the next week, you're going to edit your rough draft and get it ready to submit. Okay. Which means that if anybody finishes their rough draft and wants to send it to me to do a live edit, then you can. Okay. Now I'm not doing. Look, I'm not making an assignment or a requirement for you to show me your rough draft. Okay. In the weeks past, you know, I wanted to see that you had a rough draft to kind of hold you accountable that you're doing it. At this point, though, there's no reason to do that. All right. So there is no assignment. There's no more assignments to be graded until the final essay. Okay. You don't have to. Those of you who did the outline, awesome. Okay. You will benefit from that, just from the experience and the organization of that. And you will get extra credit for submitting it. And then you want to take that outline and you want to turn it into an essay. Each of those different topics that you discuss are paragraphs. You turn them into a paragraph. Claim support analysis, all good. So we're going to do that. And, all right, so we are. Yeah. So, anyways, if some of you finish your outline before Friday, I'm sorry, not your outline, your rough draft before Friday, and you want to send it to me and I'll do a live edit, hiding your name, do it. Okay. And it's fine. Okay, it'll be great. All right. And then we'll have one final lecture and that's it. And then you'll submit your papers and that'll be it. Okay. And there'll be real fast turnaround on those papers. I can't take 2 weeks to grade those. I mean, you submit them on May 1st and grades are due like May 5th for me, May 4th. And so it's going to be fast. It's going to be few comments, but fast grading. Okay. And again, if your essay 3 grade is higher than your essay 2 grade, as long as your essay 2 grade is not a 0, has to be at least been graded, then the essay 3 grade will replace your essay 2 grade. But that does not then go in and replace essay 1. Okay. Whatever grade you have right now for essay 1, that is essay 1's grade. So like if you made it 73 on essay 1, you made it 84 on essay 2, and then that 71, whatever I said for essay 1 was changed to an 83. And then if you make a 93 on essay 3, essay 1 still remains that 80 something. Essay 2 will be moved up to a 90. Okay. So just don't expect that whatever you make on essay 3 will also be changed on essay 1, because it won't be. All right. Okay, so I want to get this done in like 20 minutes. So let's get through what I wanted to go over today. Today I'm going to go over poetry essay examples, things that people did well, and I have a example, a B example, a C example, and a D example of the essays. There were no Fs. Every single person who turned in an essay, you did enough to at least get a passing grade. You know, remember, a D is a passing grade, okay? And in college, a D is a 60 to a 69. Unlike in high school, which I know there's a lot of you who are dual enrollment students. For a lot of you, a 60 to a 69 is an F, okay? And a 70 to a 73 is a D. In college, a 70 to a 79 is a C, and a 60 to a 69 is a D. Okay, anything below 60 is failing. So, you know, at least that's great. At least every single person who turned in an essay got at least a passing grade. Okay. All right. I want to show you, we're going to begin with looking at an A example. So let me figure that one out. Do I have that pulled up? Okay. Poetry, A example. Okay. C, B, poetry, D. Poetry, A. Okay. All right. And I've changed the names of the people. Okay. Even though I don't imagine that like the person who turned in the A paper would want to be hidden, you know, and be like, oh my God, no. But maybe they're, you know, really humble, which is great because we don't have enough humility in the world right now. All right, so this is by Patrice Agostoni. So some things that are great already about the paper. One is the formatting. Listen, formatting is really, really important, okay, for your college essays, okay? Your essays should at least look like a college paper, all right? Even if, you know, you don't really understand the subject that you're writing about, maybe you don't totally grasp the ideas, maybe you have weaknesses in grammar, you know, like grammar and sentence construction, these are not the things that college English are teaching. That's not, you know, we understand that you went to middle school and high school, and you should have learned about punctuation in middle and high school, and complete sentences. Okay. Now, we will still take credit. I mean, we'll still take points off for poor grammar. Okay. And there are some instructors who teach grammar more thoroughly, or they go out of their way to do that, right? But that's not a requirement. All right, that's not our goals and what we are required to get you to understand. Okay, our first goal, our first requirement is to get you to understand proper formatting of papers, college level, professional level looking papers. Okay, structure, format. And then the second one is organization of your ideas. Can you clearly organize and communicate your ideas? And then the third one is support. Can you support your ideas with outside sources? Okay. And then we also hope that you know, we challenge you to think more critically, analytically, all these kinds of things. Okay. But like those are our number one things. We understand that like we're not your only teacher that you've ever had for language arts. So it's not our responsibility to get you to the place of using commas correctly, using semicolons correctly. I know for me, when I entered college, I didn't master grammar at all yet. Okay. The way I learned it was by when I would read my paper, the corrections on my papers, and my professors would point out, you misused a semicolon here, or you misused an apostrophe here, or you misuse, you didn't punctuate quotation marks correctly. I learned from those things, which is what I try to do on your papers as well. Okay. So the first thing I look at again is formatting. Okay. Is the paper for correctly aligned to MLA requirements? Last name up here is in, look, it is in the header section. Okay. It's all capital letters as it should be. And there's page numbers. And the page numbers correlate to the actual pages of the paper. Sometimes if you do not insert the page number here by going through the proper way of doing it, by going through insert, if you just type 1, then down here, it will also say 1. And down here, it will say 1. If it is a special algorithm for it to that's been created for it to actually change the number with each page. Okay. And that algorithm is accessed through going through insert page numbers. Okay. Page numbers here. So that's why you got to make sure that you are doing this correctly. And then I know that this is in the correct place because it is gray while the rest of your paper is black. Okay. All right. Looking at this here, there are no additional lines. Everything that's typed is on each subsequent line. If I doubted this, I could highlight and look at all of this. If there were inconsistencies in formatting, then this would be blank, and this would be blank, and that would be blank. But because everything is highlighted, and this says 0, and this says 0, and this says double, that means that it's consistent throughout the entire document. Okay. It's not like it's down here or up here, and it's not like the essay begins down here, which I often see. Okay. Everything is on the very next line. Same thing with the paragraphs. Sometimes I'll look and there'll be this space between paragraphs. Nope, that's incorrect. So the way that they did it, this person, Patrice, the way she did it, Patrice, is correct. Okay, we have a nice lengthy introduction. We have some general comments about poetry. There are so many diverse perspectives in the world that would be impossible to hear all of them. Many people express poetry. And then we start this, she starts to move into talking about the 3 specific poets. And when she refers to a title of the poem, she's doing it correctly. Titles of poems and songs and short stories all go in quotation marks, and each letter is capitalized. I went over that in my PowerPoint on how to punctuate titles. Same thing with here, capital. The period is inside of the quotation mark, which is something that I had to consistently tell people. We have some clear thesis statements going on. We know what she's going to be talking about in her paper. We know she's going to be discussing Kate Baer, Maya Angelou, and Audre Lorde. We know she's going to be talking about Moon Song. She's going to be talking about a phenomenal woman, and she's going to be discussing A Woman Speaks. And everything relates all back to that. And the body paragraphs begin with claims. In Moon Song by Kate Baer, the tone provides a foundation for Baer's perspective of mothers. Okay, that's a claim. And then we have evidence. For example, Baer writes in the second person throughout the entire poem, stating empowering phrases like, "You do not have to choose one or the other," and "You may be a woman of commotion and quiet." These are all punctuated correctly. We have a comma introducing the quote. We have a capital letter of the quote. We have quotation marks. We have the punctuation, the comma inside of the quotation marks. And then same thing here. And then we have the parenthetical citation, Baer, in parentheses. And then we have the period. This is when she references her outside research in the article, comma, quotation mark, being a better mother to them means taking time out to be you too. That's perfectly punctuated. We have the quotation marks, because quotation marks are used to punctuate titles of articles. and poems and songs and short stories. We have the author's name stated if she writes. Okay, so this is done just really well. Each paragraph is like this, where we have our claim, we have some analysis of the, we have some quotes from the poem, and then we have outside research. A lot of people did not use outside research for every poem. A lot of you did not, or some of you put outside research on your works cited page, but you didn't actually cite it in the actual essay, and that was wrong. But this writer, she, for each paragraph, she talks about a poem, and she provides an outside research article that she applies to the poem. Okay, and the outside research is not about the poem, but she relates it to the poem, which is important. Like, for example, let's just look at this paragraph. Moonsong uses tone to discuss feminist topics, and Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou uses the theme to also portray a feminist message. This is what we call a transitional sentence. She relates to the previous paragraph and then relates it to this current paragraph. That's awesome. The self-confidence theme of Phenomenal Woman shows that true beauty is not all about looks. Okay, so it's not all about looks. Now we relate to it outside research. In her article, The Beauty Brain Loop, Eva Retvo discusses the importance of inner beauty. She states true beauty starts from within. Okay, she has this quote, and then this is related to the poem. In Phenomenal Woman, the speaker says that she is not the beauty standard or particularly attractive, but, and then we have a quote. So she relates it. Okay, so we're running out of time. So let's go down to the works cited page. We have the sources that were referenced in the paper. Okay. We have the hanging indent correctly formatted. The first line of the citation is all the way from left to right. But then if the citation has any subsequent lines underneath it, they are indented. Same thing here. We have the Kate Bear citation all the way to the left and all the way to the right. And then whatever's left over is indented. Same thing with Audre Lorde, Revo. Same thing with Snyder. Okay, this is all correct. This is a perfect essay. Okay. All right, so then let's look at, let's jump to a C example. Make sure that you're looking at this. I know some of you are probably like, please don't be mine. Please don't be, how embarrassing. Even though no one would know. Okay, this is a C example, okay? Already you can tell, MLA formatting, incorrect. There's no header. So we need to go to insert page number, top of page, far right. We need to put the student's last name, Bradley. Okay. Already we can see that like the formatting is incorrect. Some of this is double spaced, but then other parts are not. When I do select all and go to paragraph, see how this is blank? That means that there's inconsistencies. This should always be 0 and after should always be 0. And then for some reason, line spacing is at multiple. It should never be at multiple. It should be at double. Okay. Then we have this extra line in between. So we need to hit delete. Okay. Then we have the title, an analysis of self-searching. That should be capitalized because those are big words in poetry, and how it connects to homosexuality in poetry. Okay, it's a long title, but whatever. All right. First line of the title, I mean, of the essay is not indented. It needs to be indented. We have some grammatical, we have some incorrect typography. No, that's not it. Typing's wrong. Okay, space. we need lowercase. Okay. Okay, so at least we got some quotation marks here for titles. Okay. Self-discovery needs to be just lowercase. Okay. So we have all these little blue lines that should tell us that like there's something wrong grammatically, just in general. That should tell us something. We have all these randomly capitalized words that shouldn't be capitalized in this poem, the first stanza. Okay. But also at the same time, though, we have, look, the quotes are integrated. They're not drop quotes. In this poem, this first stanza of the poem is the author accepting that she will receive hate by making claims such as you may write me down in history with your bitter twisted lies. Now look, you don't capitalize if you're moving straight from one part of the sentence into the next one. If there is no comma here, you don't capitalize. You only capitalize if there's a comma there. But like this is properly, this is great. Angela, 1 through 2, great. But one thing also you notice is that this left side is straight down. Then this right side is all jaggedy. It's like a mountain range. So we need to select all. We need to go to justify right here, justify. And that fixes it. So now the right side and the left side are all straight down. And then we recenter our title. Okay. Oh, problems. There should be no additional lines in between paragraphs, and we need to indent. Oh, more typos. So you see, like this essay, it does some good stuff. I mean, it's 1,000 words. It uses, it has claim support analysis. It has some transitional sentences. But then we have like a lot of grammatical errors. We have punctuation errors. We have typing errors. We have structural errors like this. What is that? But the idea, the analysis of these poems is not off. Okay. But at the same time, also that we don't really have any, the works cited page is like way off. Okay. Here we have this reference to this essay, Martin's. If I read an essay and I don't really remember seeing any like a source being used, then I'll just go to search. Okay, look, it was used. Great, see? But now we have some problems though with I've noticed with punctuation here. We have a period here. We need to have the period after the parenthetical citation, because the parenthetical citation needs to be included in the sentence. And then we have this period. We have period, citation, and then period. Again, that's incorrect. So we gotta do that. Okay. This is over and this is under. Maya Angelou should not be indented, so we bring her back. This needs to be indented. So the way we do that, as I've shown in previous lectures, you go back to a previous line and you hit tab. Okay, Maya Angelou, right here, this needs to be indented. So go back to the previous line, hit indent, no additional spaces. Now also, this is out of order. It needs to be capitalized by the first letter of each citation. So Angelou needs to come up and be first. Okay. But then also this essay received less points because there's only one outside piece of research when it needed to have 3. So that's a problem. Okay. So it lost points. So this essay, while the analysis is, intelligent, but there's too many errors in grammar. There's too many errors in typing. There's too many errors in punctuation. There's too many. The works cited page was filled with errors, and there wasn't enough research applied to it. Okay, which is why it's a C paper. Okay. All right. So I hope that you can see these and try to understand the differences between the quality of papers. This is a D paper. It's again, formatting is all wrong. I mean, it's not all wrong. There's no header. There's no header. Okay. We had these additional lines in between. Some paragraphs were not indented. All right. And then with this paper, there was no outside research. The works cited page is totally incorrect. This should be here. If there's no author, it at least needs to be indented the next line, and you got to have some more sources here. Okay. So this was a D paper. It it barely met with the requirements. Okay. And there's also plenty of grammatical problems and words not being capitalized. I think, oh wait, I don't know if I just showed you this or not. Sorry. My bad. Here it is. Okay, this is the D paper. I didn't share that when I switched to it. I'm sorry. The only thing you missed was that there was like lines in between and paragraphs weren't indented. And this was all messed up looking. It was incorrect, and there was no sources. Okay. So with your final paper, you want to make sure that you get MLA down. Everything's correctly formatted. That you get your punctuation under control. That things are correctly punctuated. You don't have crazy random capital letters on random words. Okay. That all flows well. And that you have a works cited page and you have outside sources and you're including correct parenthetical citations. So work on your rough draft, convert your outlines to a rough draft. And if you finish it before next Friday, send me a copy of it and I'll try to do a live edit of it here. Okay. All right, y'all. Email me if you have any problems at all. If you have any questions, if you're getting stumped, if you're hitting a wall, okay, and I'll try to help you out. All right.